What's going on, guys? I'm Andrew.
I'm Jason.
And this is Movie Source.
Today we're going to be reviewing Independence Day.
So Independence Day came out in 1996. It was directed by Roland Emmerich. Roland Emmerich also did Stargate. He did Godzilla, 1998. That movie sucked. He also did Day After Tomorrow, a bunch of other films, and also he did one of my all-time favorites, The Patriot, with Mel Gibson. I like that film a lot. I've seen this film countless times, and I really enjoy it. It's really the definition of a summer blockbuster, but it's very entertaining, and again, it's very enjoyable, and it embraces the kind of film it is. It doesn't take itself too seriously, but it embraces itself as a summer blockbuster, and the characters are very enjoyable.
It has like a serious tone, but it's not necessarily taking itself super seriously. It knows what it is. It's a disaster movie that's kind of popular. That was around that time, but I think it does a pretty good job of, instilling fear that the world is going to end while supplying good action and good comedy too.
Oh, definitely, and like I said, the characters are so memorable and just you care about them so much in this film that when they are in danger in the film, you feel a sense of tension and you get scared for them because you're so invested in them and you care about them. So I just thought they did a great job. And again, one thing this film did at the beginning, and I understand why it was a little annoying, but when they transition from all the stories and all the characters, I get why they have to do it because they have to introduce everyone. But yeah, it jumps all over the place a little bit. But that being said, you don't mind it as much because you like these characters. They make a good impression right away on you, so you really enjoy the characters. And again, from all the storylines, this film could have lost its focus really easy. I thought it did a good job of just, again, focusing on the characters and really laying out and thinning out their plot lines. And again, not losing focus on the story. So
yeah, really simple plot lines for each of the four main storylines, and they get right to it. They don't waste time. There's no really fluff scenes or anything like that. They just kind of tell you the story of this person and then this person. They just keep going. So it does feel a little jumpy in the beginning, but by the first 20 minutes or so, you start to feel like, okay, now I know everybody, and then they can just progress the movie.
Now, I gotta say, some of the CGI in this film, it is a little dated for sure.
It's 1996.
But that being said, I still thought most of the action set pieces were pretty good, and definitely some of the CGI for sure works. I definitely love the iconic shots of the White House being blown up and the Empire State Building, really cool shots, and also when you see the Statue of Liberty just laying low in the water. A lot of iconic shots, and again, I thought the CGI for the time it was in, it definitely works.
And the action scenes were really good too. A lot of the chase scenes in the planes, and at the very end when there's all the planes and fighting, and especially when they go into the mothership at the very end, I thought that was a really cool scene. Just a really good set, whatever they used. But yeah, the action in this movie is really good, and it's pretty funny too. Will Smith definitely breaks out kind of in this movie as an actor.
Oh, yeah, no, he's so fun. Again, when he needs to be serious, he's serious, and when he needs to get comedic and have that good comedic timing, he breaks the tension and hits it. That one scene where he lands and he's carrying the alien in the back of the parachute,
yeah.
And he's like, "What the hell is that smell? I could have been at a barbecue." Yeah. He's so funny, and then also when he's like, "Welcome to Earth," and he punches them,
classic Will Smith lines right
there's
there.
a lot of very memorable lines in this film. And this cast is fantastic. You got Will Smith, Bill Pullman, Brent Spiner, Jeff Goldblum. I mean, there were so many good actors in this film. And again, like we said, this film could have lost its focus and just really sputtered out of control. But it didn't. It did a good job of still paying attention to all these storylines while still fleshing out all these characters and making you care about them. So I thought it did a really good job. Just to add to your point about the action, the great action scenes, a lot of these amazing action scenes, like you said, the chase scenes with Will Smith and the jets, a lot of them reminded me a little bit of Star Wars, like Empire Strikes Back, when when they're in the Millennium Falcon and they're on the asteroid and trying to get away from the TIE fighters. And then they make it crash into the wall. Just a lot of stuff that made me remember Star Wars. So that's always a good thing.
Well, speaking of Star Wars too, the very, very first scene where you just see the ship flying and it's like the total Star Wars opening shot.
We got to talk about the speech by President Whitmore.
Nice rally speech.
Yeah, the Bill Pullman speech. I gotta say, it could have been, and again, there are a lot of cheesy moments in this film, but it's because of the tone and how they embrace it, you don't care about it. It's all fun and good. The way Bill Pullman pulls off that speech, the way the lines in there, it's just so appropriate. It's so motivational. Like, it makes me want to go out there and fight aliens that are trying to destroy Earth. Like, it's just a really motivational speech, and just the music that's playing and how you see everyone rally together. It's just such a great moment in the film, and it's a very iconic moment, and I love it.
I also like the scene, too, when the Americans kind of know what they're going to do with the virus. They start sending out Morse code messages to all the other nations, and it's cool seeing all the other nations starting to, like, work together, like China and Israel and Iraq and all these places. So you're like, okay, you know, this global threat is here, and now all these nations that are usually fighting each other are working together for one common goal. I thought that was kind of cool, a little bit glossed over scene in this movie, which kind of shows, you know, all of the world working together for once.
No, I agree with you. I was actually, every time I watch this film, I actually think about, like, that's so cool how we're all working together because, like you said, it's a global threat. We have no choice. One other thing I do want to mention that is such a big strength of this film, Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum, their chemistry together, especially when they're going up to the mothership, they really work together. It's something of course I'm going to miss Will Smith in the next film for sure because he's such a presence and he's so good as Captain Stephen Hillard in this film. It's also his chemistry between him and David, Jeff Goldblum's character. They're just so good together. And that's one thing I'm really going to miss because, like I said, even though I'm curious to see how Liam Hemsworth does in this new film, I'm really going to miss seeing Will Smith and Jeff Goldblum together. It's something I really enjoy every time I rewatch this film. I love them.
And you really only see them at the very end of the movie, so that's how you know how good their chemistry is when it's that memorable and they're only in the movie together for like 15 minutes.
Definitely. No, you nailed it. Also, we got to mention the score by David Arnold. Very good score. Like I said during Bill Pullman's speech, when it makes you want to feel motivational, it feels motivational. When you're feeling sad and really a lot of tension for the characters, you feel that through the music, and also when the characters are winning and you feel that those iconic moments, you feel it. So David Arnold did an amazing job with the score. I think he also did some James Bond films as well. He's a very good composer, so I really enjoyed his score in this film. Also, too, one of the more interesting scenes that were deleted was actually that ship that landed in Roswell, New Mexico, where they were with Area 51. It actually contained that's actually how we have our modern technology in the film. And that's how Jeff Goldblum's character, David, can infect all their technology with the virus. It's because we got it from them. So I thought that was actually rather interesting. I would have preferred that to be in the film, but because of how long this film is, I believe it's a little
2.5 hours.
It's almost a little over 2.5 hours. I understand why they cut it, but maybe cut something else out of the film that wasn't as important. Because I thought that was really important. Because I've heard some of the complaints over the years that a lot of people are like, how come that virus infects that? I don't get it. It's like, this actually makes total sense now with that plot line.
Yeah, I would have added a little more validity to the end, but what can you do? You know, sometimes you have to cut scenes out, and it would have been nice for the scene to be in the movie. It would have been, maybe 5 more minutes at the most, but didn't make it, and so everyone, like you said, everyone talked about how it's kind of a dumb idea. How could they get the virus into this mothership just from this other random ship? How did he upload it? But maybe the scene kind of shows more in-depth as to how they could do that.
Anyways, let's score this thing. So I thought the film, even though Roland Emmerich doesn't make the best films, actually he usually makes pretty bad films, I thought he did a really good job directing this film. Like I said, he did a good job of really focusing the story on the characters, making you care about them, and not jumbling around and going too crazy. Because like we said, it's not the greatest story. It's pretty simple, you know, about aliens that come and want to destroy Earth. So I thought he did a good job making you care about the characters. I thought the acting was really good in the film. The score was incredible. The action, as you mentioned earlier, was really good. It's a very classic, nostalgic film. I'm going to give this film a 9 out of 10.
Cool, yeah, I definitely like this movie. It has a lot of that 90s, a little bit cheesy vibe, but it's cool. It's the 90s. It's what it was. Really good characters, really simple storylines for each of the 4 main storylines. Overall, pretty good summer blockbuster. I'm going to give it a 7.5. Alright guys, that's going to do it for this video. Let us know what you thought about this movie in the comments section, and if you like these videos, you can hit the subscribe button.
See you guys next time.